Welcome to another quality video done by me. I started doing this Thunderace head quite a while back. So see my previous videos. I think it's something like engine strip, where the other engine had smashed, it had broken something, I've forgotten bloody what now. That was it, a bolt had come out of the camshaft. So as you can see, I've put a brand spanking new camshaft sprocket on, and when I was rebuilding it, this is the other part of the engine. When I was rebuilding it, I noticed that there were 3 valves that were bent. So just let me take these cams out of here in a minute. We'll take them out. And just turn this over a little bit. Ooh, right. So we can see there. Imagine that this is on the bike. This is number 1, cylinder 1, because it's always the left of the engine. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 inlet, the valve was bent, and there were 2 exhaust valves that were bent, and I'd forgotten which ones. Now these valves are about 50 quid each or something like that, I think, and with me being very tight and not wanting to pay £50 for a valve, I decided to just hang on and wait. Now, as it happens, there was an eBay auction, and these valves here, full set of inlet and a full set of exhaust valves, have come all the way from where have they come from? Right, they've come all the way from California. So these are California valves for a Thunderace. So now I've got some valves, I'm going to continue this, building this engine up. I've put in brand new valve guides, so all I need to do now is just carry on building them up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this last valve on. When I put the last valve on, I'll put this gasket on. Then I will put the cam part of the head, the cam holder, back on, tighten that down, and then I'll put the exhaust valves in. You can't put the exhaust valves in at the same time as the inlets, or you can't put the inlets at the same time as the exhaust, because it won't go on, because each valve is pointed like that. So that's why you can put one side on and not the other. So let's crack on then. Right, this is the old valve. So there we are, that's the old valve. Now you'll notice on inlet valves it will say 3GM, and on exhaust valves it'll say 4SV. Now inlet valves, the middle one, that there, you can see it's got 1 dot, and the 2 outer ones have got 2 dots, and then the exhaust valves are just 4SV. Now because we know that this is an outer one, it's got to be a 3GM with 2 dots, and as it happens, the valve that we've got left is a 3GM with 2 dots. This here is the new valve, well, new second-hand valve from America, from California. So this valve, I don't need it. I'm going to file that over there somewhere, but I still need the spring, the collets and the valve collet holder. So all I'm going to do now is just clean this up a little bit by put it in the drill and using a bit of wire wool. I'm just going to clean it up. So I'll try and film it while I'm doing it, but I can't, where is it, promise anything. I don't know if I'll be able to get, where the fuck is it gone now? Oh, it's there. I don't know if I'll be able to get it filming. I'll give it a go though. Oh, you can just about see the valve there, so right, that's all I'm going to do to that. It looks nice and clean, so bear with us. I don't have a chuck key, that's why I'm going to do this. Pain in the ass, but that's it. So that'll do. It ain't brilliant, but it's alright. So that is now going to go in there. So I'll be back in 2 minutes. There. That's back in. Now, what I forgot to mention was this. Just let me get another valve. Right, when you're putting valves in, I use a little bit of grease, and I've got this thing here that's, I don't know if you can just see it, it's like a little hook thing, and all I do is put a blob of grease on that, stick the collet to it, and then just stick it next to that, because these are only very small, slot it in the slot, and the grease holds it in place. Now what you've got to do is, if you look at the valve, the spring, sorry, you'll see that on one end the coils are closer together. So they're more squashed than they are. And that's what you've got to do. Those squashed bits have got to be down near the bottom. Right, the smaller pitch has to be on the bottom of the valve. So always make sure that the squashed bits are towards the bottom of the valve and not the top. Let me put that valve back in there, so that spring back in there, so I don't get mixed up. Right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put the gasket on. Now you'll see on here. I don't know if you can see it, but there's the word up, wherever it's gone there, look. That actually says up. So the gasket has got to be upwards. And there's the locating pin there and the locating pin there. So in this instance I've got the gasket the wrong way around, so I need to turn it round, put it on like that. Come on, you fucking thing, get in. Try to do this one-handed is a bit tricky, so bear with us. Right, so the new gasket's on with the locating pin there and the locating pin there and the word up. So you can see that that says up. If I turn the camera around, that says up. Okay, so what I need to do now is put this half on. Now make sure the cylinder head bolts are in place, because it'd be a bummer if you put these in and they're not. Now what I did want to show you was I should replace these cylinder head bolts, because if you look closely you can see where the metal, where the Allen keys had on, the metal started to, I wouldn't say splinter, but I'd say get weaker. So really I should have replaced them, but I think them cylinder head bolts are about a tenner each. Well, there's no way I'm going to spend fucking 80 quid on 8 cylinder head bolts, no way. So anyway, right, so I'll carry on when that is bolted to that. Hello, me again. Right, what I've done is put that on now and tightened it up, but I will just show you exactly what I've done. You will see there that it says the bolts, camshaft case, bolt camshaft case 10 Newton meters. Now I've got 2 torque wrenches. I've got a big one and this little one. You can just about see the number 10, and opposite the number 10 is a line. 10M, 10M. So all you do is you put the torque wrench on. Now with this one you'll see it will bend, and as soon as it reaches 10 Newton meters the handle will bend. There, did you hear that? That's it. So if we do it again. There. I'll do that for the rest of them. Okay, 8 exhaust valves now in. There's only one thing left to do, and that's this. With this tool here, and that tool is a bit of wood, and all you do, because I've put these in with a spring compressor, you put the bit of wood on top, and you just twat it with a hammer on each one, and that'll just cater for any slight adjustments. So I'll show you. That's it. Valuable tool, that. So, we are getting there. Now that is in there, and everything looks okay. All them lovely valves. What we can do now is get that baby over there. So here we go. Right, I need to pop this down somewhere. Right, apart from spilling some stuff, what the fuck is that? Oh, that's off my push bike. Right, let's now start putting the head back on. I'll get back to you just when I'm ready to do it. Right, I've hit a problem already. This engine, the reason this engine was in bits is because one of the camshaft bolts came out and obviously stopped turning, and the engine still turned and it seized it up. Not seized it up, but stopped it from working properly. Hence I had to strip it down and put a new camshaft bolt in and stuff like that. I've just put the head gasket on. By the way, again, look, you can see up. So, and what I did was I thought, right, I'm just going to double check everything's okay. So I looked down there and I can see two bits of metal. So bear with me while I try and put my light on. That's it. Right, what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and zoom in down there and show you the two bits of metal. Hopefully. Now, I've got one of them bloody magnetic things on a stick thing that you pull out on a telescopic thing, but for the life of me I cannot find it anywhere. And this isn't doing this right well either. Let's see if I can do it that way. There's just two bits of... Right, that might be better. If I try and zoom in slowly, you might just be able to see... Well, I don't think it's going to have it. In the bottom, where the bottom of the camshaft guide goes. There's two bits of metal and it's doing me head in because I'm... Oh, fuck's sake. Right. Let me try it with this. Oops. I did clean out all the other bits, and obviously I've missed them bits. didn't having this because it's trying to focus in on the bloody studs. Oh, there, look. I don't know if you can see. There's two tiny bits there, look. Them two bits of metal. And I need my bloody telescopic thing. So what I'm going to try and do, because I can't find it anywhere, I've got a clue where it is. And I don't know if they're aluminium or not anyway, and obviously magnets don't work with aluminium. Right. This is a bit extreme, like, you know, a frigging 4-foot pole. But I'm going to stick a blob of grease on the end of this and see what that does. So I'll try and position camera so that you can see what I'm going to do. Right, you might be able to just watch what I do. Right, blob of grease on the end of there. If I can't get these out, then we can't go on until that's one. One bit of metal there. Come on, get off. Right, I'm going to go for the next one. Two. That now sits in place. So that's done. Now I wouldn't have been able to pick them up anyway because they're aluminium. So those are the two bits that I've just pulled out using a 4-foot rod with a blob of grease on the end. Sorted. Right, I've just been reading the manual and it says install cylinder head assembly with the camshafts. They're there. The head is there. I need to put the camshafts in. All the cam carriers, the bolts are in there, all labelled up, so I know which ones are which. So let's have a go at that. Hello again. Right. I'm now going to install the camshafts, but before I install the camshafts, does anybody know what's missing? Yes. Shims and buckets. Now it just so happens here are some that I prepared earlier. Now obviously the exhaust ones, which are them, and there's only 8 of them, are a lot bigger than the inlet ones, and there's 12 of them. So number 1 is missing. That's because I've undone it here and I've got it ready. Now if I look at this shim, I'll just turn that bucket upside. A bucket just looks like a bucket. That in there, it isn't a shim, it's actually a bit of metal that's cast within the bucket. That is what a shim looks like. It's just a metal disc at a set thickness. And these, believe it or not, just these metal discs here are quite expensive. They're probably about a £5 each or something. Now if you can see on that, it says 169. There, look, 169. But don't take the marking as gospel. You need to measure it yourself. So I'm just going to measure this. Right. Don't know if you can see that. Right. The shim is in there, and that is saying 176. Now that says 169 on. What the chuff? 169. $177. Right, so what do we do there? I'm going to bring that down here. Right, let me zero that. Right, that's 3 times I've measured that now, and it's definitely saying 178 now. And I'm spinning the, oops. Fuck, don't lose them, whatever you do, it nearly fell on the floor then. That's actually saying 178 now. I'm going to mark that down as 178. So, we'll have a quick look in the book about installing the cams, which is back here. Because, as far as I know, I've thought that you had to put the number up Right, I don't know. So rather than me standing here being bored and saying, I don't know what to do, pads, install pads. Okay, doesn't say anything. Right, I'll put them in. What I am going to do is get my tweezers. Now, that said 176 to 178, so I'm going to go for 177. So I'm going to squirt a bit of oil on, there like that. Get the pad. Right. I've pushed that in now. Now, although it says 169, we've measured it, and that did actually say 178. I'm going to squirt a bit of oil in here. Right, that pad's in, and I'm going to put that as 177, because my digital vernier showed 176 and then 178 and 177 and so on. It definitely didn't show 169, so I'll do that for all the rest. Right, I've got all the shims and the buckets in, apart from one, and the one that is left is number 8 exhaust, because that's number 1, because that would be number 1 as we sat on the bike. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I've been doing. This is the bucket. So what I do is squirt with oil. This is the shim. I've been looking to see if there's a number on, and that one, there's no numbers on at all. So what I'll do now is I'll measure it. And I measure it 3 times, so that's 171, and then I turn the shim around, 172, 171. So I'm going to call that 171. No number. So what I do now is oil on that. Tweezers. That's in. Squash it down with my thumb. That's gone in. Bucket with oil in. Push it down. That's it. So that's all I've done for all them. And I have now ended up with 2 lists. An inlet and exhaust. Now the figures in the brackets are what it said on the shim, and the figures of what I've measured it as, so I don't know how it can be 169 but then go up to 177, but that is what I've measured it at with the verniers, and like I say, I've measured it 3 times, so away we go. Now if you notice with the inlets, there's a 169, 177, most of them are 180s. they're in the ranges 180. There's just one or two that are 170s, and with the exhaust, every one nearly apart from that are in 70s. So what I'm going to do now is I'll put the camshafts in. Prior to putting the camshafts in, I've been wiping these as I'm going on, but I'm going to blast, squirt, 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 squirt a bit of oil on. Now these are going to have to come out because, again, because I don't think that the valves, the air clearances were right. So one exhaust cam, you can tell this because it's only got two lobes. And it'd help if I put it in the right way around. Right, so that's going to go into there. The inlet cam is going to go into there. Right, what I'll do, because these have got to be lined up, I'll get it on this bench here, and then I'll line them up before I tighten them down, and I'll show you how to do that. Right, what I've just noticed is, I read in the book, and it said, install cylinder head assembly with the camshafts. Okay, so I thought, right, I'll put the camshafts in. So I started doing that, and then I looked at that, and I looked at that chain, and I thought, how the fuck am I going to get my chain around that? So the book is assuming that you've cut the chain, or it's got a link in there, and the chain isn't installed yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the head on without the camshafts, and then put the camshafts on the head after I've wrapped the chain around it. God, so I'm going to do that, and I'm going to call it a do for this video then. So in a minute. This is going to be the final part of this video, and I can't continue because I thought I had one of these. I use this to torque the head down with. It's just a normal socket, but the end of it is a 6mm Allen key. Now, if the end of it was all this with the same width all the way down, I could get it in, and I'll show you here. So if we look down there, that's a cylinder head bolt. Now you'll see there, look, that the Allen key goes in, and I can turn the cylinder head bolt. Let me put the light on. Look, I can turn the cylinder head bolt there. You can see the Allen key turning. Okay. Now, if I try it with my socket, you'll see it stops when it gets to there. So I need a thinner one of these, and I can't get to it, and I thought I had one. Now it didn't matter when I was undoing the head, because all I did was use an Allen key with a tube and just cracked it open. So that didn't matter. But tightening it up, I need to torque it. So I need a new one of these that's that width all the way down. I suppose I could get my grinder and grind it down, but I might as well see if I can buy one first of all. So the head needs torquing down, and then I can start putting the camshafts in. But we're slowly getting there, slowly. So all this shit here, I'm going to move that. I'll store it over there for now, just nice and gently. This engine's alright here, because it's on me homemade stand. That ain't going anywhere. So the next video I'll have bought that, and then I'll show you how to install the camshafts and torque the head down. Okay then, see you later.